CCTV Lon Rashapi daga Frank Motors Kajaka dekali ga bathamai jong Tata Motors halat ko ni Shillong ringkat bakanet foodish ordal mapi nginwan ramani hakir dobyeng jongpi
Noilam kaliang persya Dr. Mukul Sangma Ubalong ruwa ka jo opor noilam jong ka All India Trinamool Congress ula Kynthoh teng ya ka Seng Riewlum ka Ïatreilang hapok Sorkar Meklia Democratic Alliance balailam da ka National People's Party ha ka jing kran bigila pathai ko bor ha ka sisa jan ka arpulai trek biayong arajar arpuar Dr. Mukul Sangma ula ong ba ki jing kdo kti persya ka Sorkar halor ki babun ki man kapen pau bakilong tang kinong pen kiwen na loren san kat ba hapok Sorkar Ïatreilang ringkan habai nuksa lor ka jinga soy ka memorandum of understanding hapdeng ka Sorkar Meklia ba ka Sorkar Assam dai ki Seng Riewlum ki badan hapok Sorkar ki bala Kynthoh henry kat ba ka jingsha ki dai ki ni ki ju ki Seng san perthai ki baidan bentalang hapok Sorkar.
See, you have to look at one angle very clearly. The overall engagement and discussion with Congress, as far as Prasanth Kishorji is concerned, has been on for quite some time. Even when I was in Congress, okay, for a long, long time. It's more than 2 years. And this exercise has been going on. He has some strategy. The strategy which revolves around ensuring that there is a strong opposition. If the political parties in the opposition are not strong, then what happens to the whole spirit of democracy? So this is nothing new. That is his personal strategy, personal choice of trying to prevail upon the Congress leadership to be part of the system, probably. And if you go by various interviews which he has been pleased to give to various media houses, I think it's abundantly clear what is in his mind. But the fact here is that you will have to again look at how he interprets his stand vis-a-vis the IPAC. Now, IPAC has an agreement with the Trinamool Congress and also other political parties in other states, other regional political parties. Please disconnect this one with Prasanth Kishorji. What Prasanth Kishorji is focusing on is at his personal level. Yeah, they have to be very clear, understand. When they delink themselves, when they withdraw from the government, they must be very clear on what issue. Now you will see many attempts by the parties who are in the coalition playing to the gallery. Now say for example you look at the attempt of the UDP to create a perception that they are obviously taking up the issues of the concern of the people pertaining to various irregularities in respect of Subhagya and smart metering and etc. etc. But what happened in the ultimate result? You look at the terms of reference of the so-called, what do you call it, that committee. Is it a committee to actually unearth the truth? Does it have the terms of reference which has enough teeth, inconsistent with the provision of the law, to go after those who are probably involved in any irregularity, if there is any? You look at the terms of reference. The terms of reference dilutes its own objective. So that means it's just an attempt to play to the gallery. So we are going to tell people why it is considered as an attempt to play to the gallery. So the parties in the government, all the parties have played to the gallery. But at the same time, by doing so, they have betrayed the people of the state. Now there is one part. What about coal? You hear lots of, concerns being expressed by BJP. Also the regional parties. What happened? Play to the gallery. Then, because if they have to stop any wrongdoing, then what is the way? We cannot stop because we are in the opposition. Unless the parties who are giving the strength through numbers to allow the ruling dispensation to remain in power, unless they withdraw and reduce the number, the government will not fall. So you have seen it outside the house, inside the house. What is the actual stand that they have taken? The By the time the election comes, you will see all these regional parties trying to point finger at NPP. To pretend to insulate themselves from all the wrongdoings. But today you look at, along with the members of the cabinet from NPP, you have various ministers, members in the cabinet from UDP who are holding very important portfolios, including home, including revenue. Now you have also seen, their step in respect to the so-called MOU which was signed by the two governments. What is the stand of UDP? Have they not said something? They have asked the government to reconsider, revisit. Have they asserted? Have they asserted? If they have not asserted, are not they playing to the gallery? And another thing is that, who holds the portfolio's revenue as well? The revenue portfolio is also with one of the ministers of the UDP. And you again go further. Who are the chairmen of the regional committees? One of the chairmen of the regional committee in West Kashis bordering Assam, along that stretch bordering West Kashis part of Meghalaya, is from HSPDP. Then you have other two regional committees, the chairman of which are from NPP. So you look at, they are all together in this decision. Now how they want to point finger at each other? Except the attempt to play to the gallery. So you'll have to understand the honest intent which emanates from their heart. If they are saying something which is with an attempt to indicate that they are sincere enough to protect the interests of our people, to protect the interests of the Jaitpanriu, it must be an honest indication. And that honest indication must be demonstrated by action. It can't be just lip service, and it can't be an attempt to play to the gallery. You have to ask the Chief Minister, has he read the document? The whole documentation that was compiled and submitted. Why was the whole compilation of those revenue records? Why? To claim. To claim. Now please ask him, if he is saying out of 36 square kilometers which he was trying to rather confine, when you're looking at the areas of difference pertaining to these, only the 6 areas of difference, 36 square kilometer, point, I think 71. Has he not divided it? Has he not divided it? Now, let's talk about Khanapara. Khanapara, that particular area, which was claimed. Why have we submitted the document? To claim, to tell Assam with complete clarity, supported and reinforced with the submission of revenue records. Okay? Revenue records. When you say revenue records, will invariably have maps. Now, which map you are talking about? Which map? Now, if you are talking about the maps, that means the map which also commensurates to the map of our Himas. Can you change Hima's map? If the Hima Milim's map is there, indicating that the land genuinely belongs to Hima Milim, can you change this map? Can the government then, before 2011, before submission, can the government change that map? The map revolves around the actual document which is available with our owners of the land. Okay? And please remember that on a number of occasions I have said, the government did not even have these documents. When we wanted to prepare the whole documentation, then only we were told, no, we don't have enough. These are not enough. So the whole exercise ultimately was to really compile based on the documents which were required. And we have asked from our stakeholders. And stakeholders in large numbers came up with the whole documentation. Now, Khanapara they have given, Ganeshguri they have given, Maikuli what was measured out of that they have divided and given. So what is the Chief Minister trying to say? Did that map indicate that okay, you divide and give? Did I say that you should divide it? Or who told him to divide it? If you have valid documents to claim that, okay, this is our area, that means you are showing the documents to claim and ensure that you win the battle. You win the battle. Not to surrender. So that means whatever documentation has been submitted to Assam government was to claim and get it back to Meghalaya, to ensure that it remains with Meghalaya, not to divide. Now what did they say? They were very prompt. Give and take, give and take, give and take. Whose land they wanted to give? Whose land? Did they ask whose land they wanted to give? So whose land they wanted to give? So give and take from day one. So they have given to Assam whatever was now. Please remember, if you have 3 areas of dispute, you will resolve the 3 areas. Now suppose you have 3 areas, 3 land. Out of these 3 land you have dispute only in respect of 1. Why you go beyond the 1? Why you go beyond the 1? The other 2 you don't have any dispute, no? Now Chief Minister is saying that, oh, they have gone beyond the dispute. That means he has not understood. He has not understood. Didn't I tell him that you have not understood indirectly? That complexity associated with this contentious issue must be comprehended well, understood well. Because I knew there's give and take me what is going to be possible outcome. And I had the fear. And I have expressed my fear. Number of times, even in the house. Didn't they laugh at me? Oh, what did you do? You were sitting on it. I might have sat on it because Assam never came forward after getting the documentation, because I am of the opinion that, because they knew, Assam knew, the counterpart knew, that if they would have been sitting across the table with Dr. Mukul Sangma in the helm of affairs of governance, I won't be surrendering the land to Assam. I repeat, I won't be surrendering the land to Assam. They knew it. That's why they want to complete it when Comrade Sangma is there. They were in a hurry. How many meetings did Comrade Sangma has with the counterpart? How many meetings? Even before inking the agreement. And that also during the holiday. You see, December, January, how many people are actually also are engaged in many other our socio-cultural and religious activities. How much time he has been able to really give, to really understand the complexities that is associated with this contentious issue. It is a contentious issue. Why do we call it contentious issues? Because it can be interpreted and misinterpreted. And unless you know how the other guy is dribbling to get mileage, you will end up thinking that, oh, whatever he is saying right. And that's exactly the reason why probably he has agreed to sign. Have I not warned a number of times? Have I not said, hold on, hold on? And they laughed at me because they didn't understand one aspect. Now you look at the Garo villages. If today he is saying that, okay, these are the maps, I am telling you again, map, Dr. Mukul cannot create a new map. Okay? The state government of Meghalaya cannot create a new map, which is not inconsistent with actual revenue records. That is precisely the reason why I say that every claim is based on this documentation, supported by the revenue documents, notified from time to time, not just one notification. And therefore, these maps are based on whatever land belongs to your Hima Nonglang. Now, Hima Nonglang's map I cannot change. But why Hima Nonglang's land is given to Assam? That is the question, no? That is what he should reply. Not beat around the bush. Dr. Mukul has signed. Have you seen my signature in there? Have you seen my signature? How? Because he knows, okay, I can play with the population of the Garo Hills and Meghalaya. That means he is offending the people of the state by telling lies. Who is he telling lies to? It's an offense. It's an insult to the people of the state. It's not an insult to Mukul Sangma, but the people of the state. Now tell me, okay, take the example of Manchapara, well within Meghalaya. Take the example of, I have given again, I will give again. Take the example of Malang Salbari. You look at the census village. Census village of Mountain Road block, Malang Kona area, that Salbari is very much a census village of CNRD block within the district of West Khasis, within Meghalaya. And that particular village, you will not see in the census village of Assam. It is not part of the disputed land. Why has he given it? You know, why has he given it? Maikuli, why has he divided? Barapathar, why has he divided? 50-50. Who has given him the authority to divide 50-50? Mukul Sangma has not given. My map doesn't say that. My documentation, the government, it is not Mukul Sangma's document, it's the document of government of Meghalaya. So, therefore, the bankruptcy of knowledge about the complexity associated with the border, contentious areas of difference along Meghalaya-Assam border is the issue. He should have tried to study. He should have understood. You see? So, now, you should ask him, even the areas of difference, out of that total 36 plus square kilometer, why have they given 18 plus square kilometer to Assam? Why? Under what provision? Whom he has asked? Now say for example, I'll tell you one thing. If somebody, now based on the parameters, it's very dangerous parameter. Didn't I say it's a dangerous parameter? Because they have started asking the residents. That means he's asking the tenant rather than the house owner. It's as simple as that. The complexity of the ownership of land in Meghalaya has to be understood. It's not just that, okay, because I have the ownership over this plot of land, therefore I can decide to go to Assam. No, it is not like that, because it is under particular rights. And that right, again, under particular CMC. So there is almost like a collective ownership. That's the reason why, even though there is a land acquisition process for acquiring land for any public use by the government, what happens? You will have to take NOC from all the stakeholders, including district council. Why district council? Because district council will look at whether they have taken the necessary NOC from all concerned, whether it is in order or whether they are bypassing anybody. That is the reason, no? So you have to understand, therefore, that the Honorable Chief Minister didn't understand. And that is what you have to understand. When the people are not accepting it, you can't impose. You can't impose. You can't be a dictator. Yeah? Why in the first instance there is an area of difference? Has the boundary of Meghalaya not demarcated by Survey of India in the past? Has it not been? It has been demarcated by Survey of India, but we didn't accept. The people didn't accept. That's why the area of difference continued to exist. Therefore, now also people are not accepting. Please also remember one thing. You can't do injustice to our beloved people who were all along in the border and who were actually there to protect and defend our border. They were like our frontline warriors. How can we be so blatant in ignoring their interests and protecting their interests?